Well, I got this nice ABC 1516 high rake prop, balanced, sharpened, and ready to run, but it's a little bit too breezy and gusty to speed run boats right now, so I might charge up the Arrow and run that later. But today, for right now, I need to address this storage issue I have. This is my rigger's currently living on top of my washer dryer combo. Popeye's living on my stove, so I gotta do something about that. The other four living on top of a shelf, but you can see I'm kind of running out of real estate there. So we're gonna build a rack. And I found this Horizon Hobby video from about 7 years ago, looking around for rack ideas and stuff. So yeah, you can see it's kind of an old video, kind of got buried. This is back when Horizon was cool and they actually helped people. But I'm kind of gonna redo this. I'll link this video in the description so you can watch it if you want to get a different perspective. But yeah, we're gonna build a rack like that and probably hang it up there somewhere. Here's the parts list that he included. I'm gonna be using, let me pause it. Yeah, this is kind of weird. He put this list up, but he's talking and showing stuff behind the list, so you can't really see what he's doing. But that's basically what you're gonna need. I'm using a dedicated PVC pipe cutter. I have my digital pitch gauge, and I have a regular old school level. You can use either. Stud finder I'm not going to use. You can just tap on the wall. You can use a coin or just knock with your knuckle and find the shallow spot. You can hear where it's hollow and where it's not hollow. It's not that hard, but stud finder is more accurate. And with this lengths, this inches of pipe here adds up to 13.5 feet. So I went ahead and got 3 5-foot sections, 15 feet. And my Popeye, this is for plane racks, I should also say. So planes are super light, boats are a little heavier, so you might want to limit your rack length to 4 or 5. I'm going to build a 5 rack length, 5 row rack. Sorry, I can't talk. So this was my list here. Basically the same thing. You get the 3/4 inch EMT clamps, drywall screws and washers, and if you want 5, you're going to add 2 T's, 2 12-inch or whatever length you need. The Popeye is, I think the beam on it is right about 12.5 inches or so, so I'm probably going to add a couple inches to that, 1 or 2 inches. Alright, so we got our PVC pieces all cut out. We got 2 14s. What is this? 6 12 inches, 6 8 inches for the spaces in between the racks, 2 6 inches for the width, and you can vary this. You know, this is not exact. This is just the template that I'm using from the other video. 2 6 inches for the space. So you can actually see in the video he's got one that's like real. I mean, maybe one spacer in between. It's real tiny, and 4 1.5s for the ends. So getting the elbows and stuff, it's actually cheaper to get the 10 packs if you're going to get close to 10 or more than 4 or 5. So I got a 10 pack of the elbows. We got a bunch of caps. I didn't have a 10 pack of the caps, so I just had to get individuals. And these 3/4 inch EMT clamps. You find these in the electrical section. And let's see those hooks. Hooks are for my plants. Washers, I just kind of picked out some flat washers that look like they would fit underneath the head and fit with the clamps. The clamp holes are a little big. They're a little big, but a regular drywall screw should fit. Got a 10 pack of 90s. Oh, and I got some straight connectors just in case I ran into issues making my racks. So just like to have some extras. But yeah, these are the drywall screws I went with, 6 by 2 inch, nothing too crazy. And yeah, we'll start putting stuff together. Alright, so we got the top of the rack started. Take one 6-inch, two 90s, two 1.5s, put them together. Then put your T's on, put the 12 inches, and then continue down. Oh, and I just wanted to note, I wanted to do the 5 rack, the 5-row rack, but I didn't exactly have enough pipe left over, kind of miscalculated. And with the scrap I had left over from cutting these, had just not enough, of course. Should have bought one more 5-foot length of 1/2-inch pipe, so just an item of note if you're going for 5 rows. Okay, so now you can see the rack is starting to take shape. We got 2 rows going. I'm just going along periodically, you know, pushing down on the floor or whatever flat surface or workbench you have. I could be doing this on my table, but it's more roomy on the floor, and I don't mind sitting on the floor anyway. But you want to go along and check the evenness, make sure everything's pressed in and tight. I'm not gluing these joints like he says in the other video, because you want to leave them loose to modify and trim and whatever you want to do in the future. So we'll continue on. Alright, and our rack is assembled. Got the 2 14s on the bottom because I want the weight, the heaviest boat on the bottom. You guys having fun? But I just kind of put it on the flat tile here, and well, I guess you could do it on the carpet, but just kind of, you know, mushed everything together, stand it up, make sure everything's square and levelish as possible. Your rows are going to be kind of funky, so you gotta maybe, I didn't really trim any. I guess I could go along and trim and make sure it's, you know, nice and perfectly even and straight, but yeah, it looks even enough to me. I can deal with that. But yeah, just the only thing I don't like is how they're kind of wobbly side to side. But yeah, you could modify, you could put like a cross beam here, something like that. But yeah, get these things clamped up and hung up. I think I mentioned before that this is the PVC pipe cutter I'm using. It's Cobalt. You can get it at the hardware store. This thing is awesome. It cuts through PVC like butter. Highly recommend if you're building boat stands or doing any kind of PVC work. Damn, cat just ran off with one of these strips. Oh shit. Alright, so one thing I forgot, to get some kind of insulation for the racks, I just use the hatch foam that I have. I got 2 rolls of it, plenty of it, so, and it sticks well. It doesn't bend. I don't know, I could probably use like round strips, but it seems to stick pretty well to the surface, so we're gonna go with that and hang it up. Alright, and our boat rack is done. Mounted and secure and level. I didn't really have to use a level because this seam, these 2 wall pieces are mounted right where the stud meets, so that worked out perfect. The only issue I ran into that you guys may run into if you have cinder block behind your wall, those screws were a little bit too long. They were about 1/2 inch too long. So I had to dig around and find some old window drywall screws or spare screws that I had, and use the side clamp, the extra clamps I had to clamp the side here, because especially with the weight of this big girl, it bows out the center. The weight of it will, and it's pulling the pieces apart, so I'm kind of concerned about that. I'm gonna see if it moves and shifts around, but I think I'm gonna glue those joints because I don't want to add any more weight to this stand. But yeah, it looks good. Happy with it.